Welcome to Sad Boyz, a podcast about feelings and other things also. I'm Jarvis.
I'm Jordan.
First up, just want to say thanks to everybody who came out to our live show this past weekend.
Yes, thank you so much. That was really fun.
Absolute blast. Thanks to Eddie and Drew for joining us. And if you missed it, we'll have an edit. Yeah, took you a minute.
Sorry, yeah.
If you missed it, it will be available on our Patreon, free for patrons. And then also, if you want to just purchase it, you'll be able to. That's at patreon.com/sadboyz. But no press. It's just content. Jordan, I have something to show you.
Zip.
I saw something this morning, and it was so upsetting that I sent it to Anastasia and said, we have to show Jordan this.
Oh. Okay, wait.
And I said...
Jumping into the Mind Palace real quick, what are the kind of things... okay. Is it the kind of thing that I will enjoy more than the average person should?
Yes. And in fact, I'm going to write something down. Okay. I wrote something down. If it comes up later, I'll show you.
Okay. I'm in my Mind Palace, which is a humble tent in the middle of the woods.
The year is 2012. You're Quentin Tarantino promoting the release of Django Unchained.
Okay. And I live in England still, or I'm...
Well, no, you're Quentin Tarantino. You're in LA.
Okay. Sorry, let me just get into it. I'm annoying. I'm a pervert.
Right. And you're on BT, also known as Black Entertainment Television.
Awesome. But I'm Quentin Tarantino, which means
you've got to translate. You've got to explain things in a way that these black people would understand.
Yeah, he's code switching for the culture.
You know what Django Unchained is about.
But Quentin Tarantino
being unchained, actually.
Yeah.
And actually, this is Quentin Unchained right now. We're
he's about to be released from his chains.
Go to YouTube and click on a random video. Make sure sound is working in general.
He's whispering.
And refresh when you do come back to this, because, yeah.
Now, I'm not that computer savvy, so if he had sent me something that I plug into my computer, I don't know if I would have ever heard it. All right, hey, download this. I don't know how to do that. I want to please my fans, and I want to please the critics that are my fans. The critics are my fans. I don't give a damn.
Oh my God, he can't handle anymore.
He's completely unchained. Oh my God, get the chains off. What the fuck? Wow, I wonder.
So you've heard him speak before.
I've seen him do this before, with a little more chains. I've seen him do promo on that press run, and he's just clearly code switching in front of Jamie Foxx and being like, right, you and me, culture. But this is he's in character. He's fully, honestly, maybe he's method.
I was already suspicious of much like when I see him cast Salma Hayek to put her toes in his mouth, or he casts himself as the guy who gets the toes put in his mouth or whatever.
Selfless toe eater.
Yeah, selfless toe eater. Him putting the N-word in every script feels racist. After seeing this, it's I had my doubts.
Also, I mean, really treating himself to the N-word in Pulp Fiction. He really gets to have a little party with it.
I remember when Jackie Brown came out and Spike Lee said something, in retrospect, quite harmless, where he was like, I'm suspicious of this white man who wrote this movie and how many times the N-word is said by black people, but
right, but there's a certain puppetry to it.
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah.
And Quentin came out so hard against Spike Lee.
Yeah, he's had a grudge against him for years.
New York Knicks superfan Spike Lee.
Yeah, and also
tiny man Spike Lee.
His movies are much more deep than yours, in my opinion.
Right,
That's just my opinion.
I mean, hey,
he's never
Spike
killed
Lee's
Bill.
incredible. If you can't love movies and filmmaking and not appreciate Spike Lee,
his remake of Old Boy.
Is it?
With
I
Josh
didn't
Brolin?
see that. I didn't see that.
Is it Spike Lee that is? I'm trying to remember if it was Green Book that he was asked about or something, and on the red carpet where he goes, "Are you British?" And then he's like, "Yeah." Well, I'll give you a British saying. It's not my cup of tea.
The whole presto that he does for the Old Boy remake, it's so clearly something he was genuinely interested in doing, and then it just spiraled into being this shittier and shittier project. And by the time he's doing a press tour for the movie, he is fully shrunk into his shirt in every interview. And they go so it's an interesting idea to remake this movie that has so much love amongst the film community. did you make any major changes? And that ending, I mean, how do you feel about it? And he's just sunk in and he just keeps going, it's a reinterpretation.
Spike Lee, to me, you know those toys that'll be like a shell or it'll be like a Transformers toy where it's a fire truck and it turns into Optimus. I feel like Spike Lee can go inside of each one of his jackets.
Yeah.
And then you hang it up and he sleeps.
Yeah.
They're like, Spike, time to get up.
Wait, can we, before we can continue this, which I do want to do, can we do the Spike Lee, not my cup of tea? I want to find that clip.
Not my cup of tea.
I feel like my impression of the tone of it was accurate, but I just want to see.
Is there something about Green Book that offends you? This is what I'm trying to get to.
Offend? Are you British?
Yeah.
Are you British?
I am.
Let me give you a British answer. It was my cup of tea.
Is it
My cup of tea.
Is he holding his Black Klansman
Yes, I believe
award?
so.
Okay, that's
I believe
right.
so.
That's a
it
pretty
is funny
cool
to
way
call
to
it
do
as
it.
Black Klansman award.
As the name of the movie.
But it's for other people, it's an Academy Award. For him, it's a Black Klansman award. Okay.
Speaking of Black Klansman, let's see that Tarantino.
I want to please my fans, and I want to please the critics that are my fans. The critics hate my fans. I don't give a damn.
It's like he feels like he's on like Def Jam comedy tour.
Yeah, dude, he's Matt Rifen. He's going full Rifen.
What did he say? That the critics don't care about my fans. I don't give a damn.
It feels like he's even lying about like I wouldn't know how to use a file. You know, I'm black. We don't know how to use a computer.
The caption, I don't know how to do that. Can you go to...
So this is funny because I just realized this is Chad Opitz, who was a is a comedian that I knew in San Francisco.
Oh, that's funny. I do love the caption. You better not be Quentin Tarantino promoting Django Unchained on BET when I get there.
He kind of has had the Aiden Ross experience where he's been around not getting checked on this kind of shit for so long that he's just like, yeah, I'll just say whatever I want all the time. Dochi, no thanks.
I mean, that's something that I've always seen a similarity between Clavicular and Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
They can both say it. They both have the pass.
They have more kind of like bone in the head than you'd think. The normal
Play
guy
some
would have.
gangster rap.
Hit me with that. Oh my God, that was a cool one. I do love him.
I just want to say the N-word.
That's the kind of thing I like.
That's the kind of thing I like.
Give me that smooth shit, please.
Jordan, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. We did a little reversey record today. We did the bonus first.
Patreon.com/Sad Boyz. Always be plugging.
Which we kind of a cool, chill vibe. I have this thing that I have to check after the show. That's like it's immigration related stuff. And it's just kind of a thing I always have to be kind of ambiently aware of. It has been on my mind for a couple of days. I wanted to check it when I was with people, just in case, because that stuff just, no matter how well it's going, just freaks me out a little bit. And it's, I feel like there's a whole chunk of my random access memory that is being eaten up thinking about it, but not critically, because there's nothing to think about.
Yeah,
it's like thinking about I have to have lunch. It's not
ruminating, right? It's like the when you're like focusing on something, but it's like hard to get away from it in your like active attention because you're just like kind of dwelling in that.
But I think I also feel like doing this show and kind of stability it and you have given me has changed my relationship with immigration stuff, because now it's feels much more about process. Like it's less like fear and more frustration. Like, oh great, more to do, more to plan, more to as opposed to like I spent so much time in the past like, oh my God, is it gonna work?
Right.
And now it feels much more about like, okay, what are we? Oh boy, more like a doctor's appointment, more thing. And so
I mean, it's also, this is a thing I'm not going to let you comment on, but I will say that like with everything that's going on in the world with immigration stuff, I certainly feel a certain amount of vulnerability and fear in sharing everything that's on my mind because of the vindictive nature of some of the sort of powers that be and the consequences that are not legally founded or morally or ethically founded, but are again
enforced.
And so then it creates a precarious like you know, you want to feel like you can speak freely and share anything, but there are certain things that I'm afraid to wade into by virtue of how it might affect people around me. And so it's a frustrating situation to be in. But it's also like, I'm sure people get it because they also see what's going on outside. Yes. But anyway,
that is,
I like cheese crackers.
I like Quentin Tarantino, cheesy.
I don't know how to do that. I saw a computer and I was like, what's that?
My black ass.
My black ass can't use a computer.
It was just like every black nerd raising their eyebrow.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, otherwise good. The live show was always a little bit of a boost, or it's, you know, a little memorable, little achievement type thing, and trying not to engage with the overall feeling of dread.
Oh, true. Difficult,
but not. But also like
max difficulty.
It's finding because engaging with or ruminating, you know, on the specifics of something for practical reasons is obviously very different than just like ambiently worrying about something. There is a reason to engage with something that's a big deal. But especially, you know, publishing a show, I find myself like very in the heads of maybe especially after the live show, just especially in the heads of like the people listening right now. I'm feeling especially self-conscious, not in a negative way, just conscious.
Yeah, just awareness. Yeah.
Of like what somebody listening right now might be going through, or what they might be feeling, or what relationship my words right now could have to that. And I guess I'm bringing it up only to say, like, I don't have any, like, I don't have a balm. I don't have like a salve. I can't help. But I am just, as much as I can, just want to radiate out a little bit. I hope
like solidarity.
You're doing okay. Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't think that is, I don't think that that's nothing. In fact, it's like, I do think that you offer something by, you know, being in your position and sharing about, you know, it's very, like, to use a completely tangential example, it's like simply by saying, hey, I have ADHD, people go, oh, me too. And this person is, you know, doing these things, and maybe they speak to some of the same struggles that I have, and that can be like meaningful or cathartic, or, you know, help them in some way. So I do think that, you know, representation in and of itself is valuable.
That is, it is always really telling when somebody does say something like that specifically, where it's, hey, you guys mentioned just mental health in the abstract, you know, just like being aware of it. And somebody will say like, that's really helpful. I'm like, fuck, man. It sucks how uncommon that is. It sucks how unwilling or unable a lot of people are to access like that kind of conversation, which, you know, we have at periods of our life. I certainly wasn't as a kid, I didn't grow up in a like, I did think it was weak for me to acknowledge like a mental health or anything. It's a learned behavior. Was work also your first exposure to that? I feel like talking candidly about like your mental health was,
it's a good question,
a San Francisco thing for me.
I don't know. I do feel, if I'm to be completely honest, I think the thing that got me into therapy initially were things like Pete Holmes's podcast, and stuff where people would talk about, like, kind of normalize it.
Well, comics would talk about it.
Comics would talk about it.
Whoa, that
and
must
like
mean
a
you're
lot
smart.
of comics are, you know, mentally ill as well. And so it was a thing where seeing how people could kind of walk and chew bubblegum or kind of be in both states at the same time. It's like, oh, you can be funny or you can still be. I think I had a few different notable examples of someone who I saw as a strong person or from a position of strength expressing vulnerability that I found helped me reframe what it meant to be strong, or
it's
what it
authentically
meant. And then I was like, oh, okay, that challenges it directly challenges the perception of weakness that is sometimes often actually attributed to discussions of, you know, let's say mental health or really any challenges. And each of those things helped kind of wear down that barrier to the point where I could kind of wear it as a point of pride. It's like there's nothing about going to therapy or talking about mental health that I feel like is any expression of weakness to me. And in fact, it's like, it's one of those things where
It's like a bygone era kind
it's
of
just like a thing that is. And it does feel like a bygone era, but at the same time, you like get constant reminders of how stunted we still are in so many
especially
ways.
within the bubble that we built for ourselves
mhm.
now. Like I still, you know, but from the time I first left the UK to the first time I visited back, it was about a year and a half, and my relationship with that kind of stuff still in progress, but had changed a little. My kind of tenor and approach to conversations like that was a little different. My openness about that stuff, or like here's what I'm just feeling in this moment, or asking for help and stuff, was not, you know, I wasn't a hyper emotional, hyper accessible person, but I was significantly more so than when I had left.
Right.
And as a result, like I remember getting back to the UK and noticing making someone uncomfortable. And it was not with like trauma dumping or anything like that. It would just be like, "You're right, how you going?" And I would be like, yeah, good, yeah. Really just kind of like not feeling myself there, like feeling kind of like self-conscious just about like, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's way I'm dressed, something. And I remember this being the first and last time I did anything like that, because it was not a like trauma dump out of nowhere. We're chatting for a while and have been talking about good and bad
very
stuff.
benign. Like it's like lightly dipping your toe into
If someone kind of expresses that to me now, it's kind of a jumping off point. If I'm close to them, like if we have that kind of conversation.
Sure.
But I guess it's hard to measure. Now I do think I'm more tactful about who and how and when I'm having those convos. I think I was a little indoctrinated into radical openness or whatever.
No, I think I'm the same way, because when I was in high school, I would have like, I guess what you could describe as mental health episodes.
Sure.
But the way that I would express them would just be like talking to a friend, but I would be not aware of like the strain or stress that can put onto someone else, because you're in high school and you're experiencing these things for the first time, and you maybe don't have like, it's not something that I could talk about at home. And so I'm grateful that I like had the desire to express it rather than to like hold it in. But I definitely would have redirected, you know, with perfect hindsight, where that stuff was going. I don't think it like ruined anyone's day, but in retrospect, it's like I'm somewhat embarrassed about. So we had a couple things we want to talk about today. The thing I'm very curious about is this streamer show that turned out to be a scam.
I'm hearing rumors, I'm hearing rumblings, but I don't know what it is.
I don't really know.
I do want to say, I know that we don't show this on screen typically. Whenever we do Sad Boyz, we have a board of topics available. This week has some of the funniest titles we've had there in a while. It's just one of the most deranged sets of words.
I also, like, we were talking about what the main topic was going to be, and I was saying I need more context on this, because I don't know if it's I am allowed to say this.
Yes.
It literally says scam streamer show or evil gays. And I was like, what does that mean?
Gay son or thought.
And then I'm like, Jacob, what's that? And he's like, these are evil gay people. And I'm like,
very well.
Okay, well. And it's like, you'll see. Okay, I'll take your word for it.
I'll see. As an ally, we'll sit here nodding thoughtfully.
I like St. Louis monkeys loose.
That's a subtopic. That's not. Imagine if it was the main. Can you believe it? Monkeys are loose.
Iconic that would actually be like a great parody thumbnail. It's just a bunch of monkeys. They go bananas.
One of those Netflix shows that's fake.
Oh yeah, is it Monkey?
So what this was pitched as was a high-stakes reality television competition where the fans of streamers were competing. And so this was being like advertised to people who are like watching Twitch.
Knowing nothing about it, already being a fan targeted, like, hey, come, you can make some money.
Like, was there a trailer for this, or was it literally just like posts about it?
I think it was mostly just posts.
Oh, it was art. Okay, wait. The community on the r/livestream fail subreddit had a lot to say about the matter, with several netizens suspecting that $1 Million Fan would be a scam.
Yeah,
I'm a netizen.
And they've since the website has been taken down, but this was their About Us.
Yeah, okay, let me read
section.
this. $1 Million Fan. $1 Million Fan is a high-stakes reality television competition built around one simple idea. The fans deserve a seat at the table. That's a nothing burger. That doesn't mean anything.
That's not even a simple idea. That's an absent idea. It's hollow.
Created at the intersection of modern creator culture and large-scale unscripted entertainment, $1 Million Fan brings everyday fans face-to-face with the creators they support, competing together in real-world challenges for life-changing prizes. This is not a meet and greet, and it's this is ChatGPT, by the way.
That felt that way the moment it opened with the intersection of. That's such an iconic ChatGPT framing.
This is not a meet and greet, and it's not passive fandom. It's participation, pressure, and performance. The 3 Ps.
Whoa.
So it's like Amazing Race, but it's a fan and a streamer.
But the second they said it was a $20 million prize, I was like, in what universe? Like, no show has a prize
has
like
a
that.
$20 million prize.
Yeah.
Which do you think is the Amazing Race?
Oh God.
The Iditarod.
It took me a minute to understand what
Pick
you
one.
were saying.
No,
It's a big one.
took me 1 minute.
Exists to redefine the relationship between creators and their communities, so fans are no longer just viewers; they're competitors. It's a very like
Is that what you
appealing.
want?
I know. It's very much like appealing to parasocial relationships.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's appealing to people who need money.
$20 million prize pool. That's a typo. Prize pool. Oh, wait, this is a Reddit comment. So, of course, there's a typo. Paid entry contest. Their refund policy says no refunds. You can't go to...
Wait, paid entry?
can't-
That's the catch.
Yeah, that
Is that you have to buy a ticket to be
selected.
able to be selected.
What kind of scratch are we talking about?
Oh.
That's such a red flag, a paid entry contest.
Also, isn't that like... Aren't there laws
That's
against
illegal.
I
this?
think
yeah.
there are laws. against
Yeah.
that.
Unless they're doing
Because
the
that's
old...
a raffle, right?
Unless they're trying to swag it out as a
I don't know.
sweepstakes, it
Oh,
really
sweepstakes,
seems
yeah.
pretty raffly to me, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not getting anything otherwise. That's
Wait
like
a
the way to
second.
do a sweepstakes.
Okay, see, Botez sisters are also involved, so the chance of it being a scam increases naturally by 50%. That's just some Reddit incel
Right,
shit.
right.
Like, 7 prominent streamers and internet personalities are teaming up for the show. Well, that's what I want to
don't
see. I want to
think
see if they
so.
said anything. Who is Knut?
Is it?
That's not Peanut, nor is it Nut from.
Did they just spell nut?
Wait, yeah, can we scroll down because they're showing pictures? Who the hell is
I
that?
have no idea who that is. Okay. Looks Australian to me.
Extra Emily says she's not trying to scam fans. Okay.
Okay, so they were associated with it, but maybe just like business email, sure. But then they kind of ran away with it.
Yeah, I mean, it does suck that how much you have to vet everything as being a potential scam. But it's like, do I think that Extra Emily is trying to scam her audience? I do. Like, you have to think about what is the simplest thing for Extra Emily to do, and it's exactly what she's already doing.
It would not. Yeah, she does not need to do this scam. It would do so much more damage than good.
It's similar to, I don't know, like a few other things that we've looked at where it's like the personalities associated with it are kind of also getting scammed.
Yeah.
Like
It's one of those situations where you trust your usually trust your representation as a creator to do the vetting and stuff, especially because they have the resources and connections, usually ostensibly, to do the vetting.
If they're doing their job
understand
right, you shouldn't even hear about
who's
it.
behind the
It's a
scenes,
scam.
et cetera, et cetera. What the risks are. It's like I'm speaking just from personal experience, but I also have been happy with my management and I've been with my management for a long time. So it's like, it's, your mileage may vary.
And I think if there was someone was reaching out to us about a $20 million price pool game show, I think I'd want probably some more diligent research than they want to do it, yes or no.
Yeah, $20 million prize pool is like such a scary, like what? Like because you could do this for $1 million and it has exactly the same appeal.
Yeah.
Most like game show kind of shows, including like the Netflix kind of reality show game shows.
Oh, like
don't
called,
give
like,
you very
Balance
much
the
money.
Poll or
Like they
something.
don't.
No.
$1 million is even kind of high.
Yeah, well, it's like that's why no one really wins. Who I would like have won in the past, but like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is not often completely won.
Yeah.
I do, and I am noting my bias because I am at least acquaintances with Emily, but and also, you know, understand what it's like behind the scenes. But to me, this is like, I've, you know, seen offers come across, you know, my email or whatever. And a lot of times it'll be like, what sort of rights did I, like, what am I signing up for?
Yeah.
I know that. My management is making that clear to me. What is the usage, name, image, likeness, all that stuff. And then like in this case, if someone was saying, oh, this person totally backs it, or this person is like, that would be that would be like, you wouldn't be allowed to do that, or I would know that you were allowed to do that.
Yeah.
I would never be surprised about how my likeness is being used.
And if you were, then it's like, okay, well,
then I've been
backing out, like,
defrauded.
yeah.
Like, yeah, it's like, then that's actually, you know, like you can just lie about who is supporting something or the way that someone's supporting something, and you can mischaracterize it, and those things are fraud.
A lot of people are putting the blame on the agency, Mythic Talent.
That's where, okay, I'm glad that people are, because that's also where I am placing the blame.
I'm a little
Because because it feels like a failure on their part, or them being bad at their jobs, or them being complicit. I have to, you know, it's like never attribute to malice, which you can attribute to incompetence, but it's not that it's an excuse. It's more just like trying to understand how this happened.
I mean, it's almost everything that ever goes wrong is because somebody wanted to go home early. And like a lot of the time, if this kind of thing seeps through the gaps, it's because, yeah, whatever. I don't want to have a meeting about this. Let's just say yes to it. Or that sounds fine to me. I have to finish this by the end of the quarter. And I mean, I don't know. A lot of managers are kind of fucking stupid.
I mean, that's the real problem is that a lot of managers there's like so many snakes in the grass in that industry, because there's a lot of people who don't have business backgrounds who are relying on these business people with an immense amount of trust. And like at the end of the day, you know, it's like if I fuck up, it's like my fault. But most of the world works by people relying on their teams to do this due diligence, because that is the role that they're signing. And like, again, it's like the buck stops with the streamer, like their own responsibility. But I understand that you're delegating for a reason. You're expecting some amount of due diligence to be done. But at the same time, this is the type of thing that I would have a meeting about, and then I'd be like, excuse me, they're being charged to participate.
Yeah, that doesn't, wait, what is this show?
Yeah.
Would be the question, I guess. And it would not be.
And who's putting it on, and what is their background?
So maybe it's just because we're not streaming and that has such a different kind of relationship with an audience. But if the pitch of the show includes language about time to break down the barrier between streamer and the fan will be working with you, and it's
run everything you get through like AI checkers, even if they're not 100% accurate, because it can at the very least give you some sort of, wait, maybe I should be suspicious.
Yeah, there's got to be a like amount of money where it raises your eyebrow. You get, as soon as the number 20 million happens, I'm like, okay, this is a guy
right. That's already a bad, like,
I'm a Nigerian prince, and there's $20 million of diamonds.
It's like, I have $1 billion that I'm trying to give you, but I can't because my bank account in Nigeria has been frozen.
And I'm like, oh well, got past my manager. This must be real.
It's framed as a sweepstakes by either donation or there's also like a no donation required, because like legally I think you have to offer like a
free way of doing it.
A free way of doing it. But a lot of times sweepstakes will make that free way of doing it very just like difficult.
Exactly. Create enough friction that, because it's like to technically satisfy the law.
It's similar to how you can become complacent in trusting like your representative in this case.
Yeah.
We can kind of become complacent trusting the systems in general.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, they can't scam me. It's against the law.
Okay, so
they wouldn't.
So this is interesting. The show will be set to air on Amazon Prime. It's like
that's a big
claim. So it's like that's such a easily traceable. Okay, well then what's the production, company of this? that is the type of thing that should have mainstream reporting done
Yes.
on it.
Yeah, it should be
because-
like a Hollywood Reporter article.
yeah,
no?
a Deadline article or something. Like,
I promise. It'll go on.
it's like, oh, it's on Amazon Prime. Like, that's a easily refutable claim.
Yeah, at least say it's going to be on Grubus or something.
There's just a lot of red flags. But at the same time, if you're a creator who's never engaged in any of this stuff, you may not know. Or let's say, what if you're a younger creator? What if
Yeah.
you're like 19 and you don't have the
Well, that's my thing is like
general awareness? You have to rely on people
that's
at
why
some
I think
point.
Mythic is like ultimately the
Mhm.
problem here because you have to rely on your reps at some point.
At some point,
do
because you just don't
the
have
vetting
knowledge
right?
of every possible thing. And it's like, I mean, the sketchiest thing about this is the way that you enter and the large size of the prize pool where the money is coming from is nowhere to be found. Like,
Location, Vancouver, promise.
where did the $20 million come from? It came from when I typed 20M into the text
Well,
document.
actually, it's coming from the sweepstakes.
Yeah.
It's paid for by the. Did they still? Oh, so because it's a donation, it's probably just like a bunch of different figures you can donate. Probably, so there's not even a flat fee. It's just whatever you
I don't.
Yeah.
default $5, $10, $15.
And also, oh yeah, and the offer is what is that big blue number here under offer?
I think it might be like redacted.
oh, because it's
I
different
think
from
it's like-
creator to
Oh, it's like
creator.
the amount. Okay. It's the type of thing that, okay, that's obviously going to get people excited. And then, if you have management that doesn't care about you as a person, they're salivating whenever they see the number because they're going to get some percentage of that
Yeah.
take. And it leads you down really bad. I mean, there's just so much bad management, by the way, just out there in the creator space. And
like
I-
bad therapy. It's because
Yeah,
you
I've
don't
just
have to
seen
be
them-
good at it to do it.
there's just so many like kind of people who are taking advantage of creators.
And there's a lot. I mean, a lot of the time, it's just, hey, what's up? I see that you're blowing up right now. Do you know how
Let
to
me
do
get a
your
cut of that."
taxes?
Yeah.
Because I do. And
It
then
is-
they do their taxes, and they're like, "That's my dad now. They did my taxes that one time. They must be a
Well,
genius."
There is like a lot of it's a minefield, right? Financially to navigate when, especially if you're a young creator and you haven't like done your own taxes before or whatever. And it is a huge help having a rep to help you out, like getting brand deals and blah blah blah. But it's also a predatory, a place to navigate like predators.
It's
who are,
extremely
like,
opaque
Yeah.
because like there's not a lot of transparency on what deals look like, on what fair terms are. You have to know people who are like further along in their creator journey to talk to. Like I've talked to a lot of like young and up and coming creators about things like this, about management, etc. And if you don't have that network, then you're kind of just taking people at their word and the best that you can glean, and they always promise the world.
Yeah.
Like it's
Why the hell wouldn't they? You
yeah,
know?
exactly. So I don't know anything about Mythic Talent. Have they made a statement?
Yeah. Mubby.
Oh, it's a big Twitch talent agency, I guess.
It looks like they have not made a statement.
Can we look at Extra Emily's statement?
I'm not. I know it's sus. I know it looks sus. Okay. Mythic pitched it to me, and I was like, okay, sounds good, but I just don't want LSF to be part of it. Like, are you kidding me? Like, why is there an LSF person? Like they're like use, and then they're saying like, oh, Emily is backing it up, and I'm like, I just posted it because I had to. Like, I had to be like, okay, I need to tell people about it. But then the LSF guy's like, oh yeah, Extra Emily totally like backs it. I'm like, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. Okay. So I don't know what's happening, but for now, just like put this like put on the side. Okay. So I will get more information on it and then let you guys know. So yeah, but I promise I'm like not trying to scam you guys. I apologize. I didn't do more research beforehand. But I'm gonna have them do more research and let you guys know.
Yeah.
The LSF part is a little confusing to me.
Oh,
They just mean that they posted about it? Or someone was
they said we're-
involved?
in their post. It said we're excited to collaborate,
That's really
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. And-
Why?
and I like always want to defend creators where I can, and it does seem like it's ultimately like it's weird to. I don't know how Mythic Entertainment or whatever Mythic Talent represented this to their clients. But it does raise this interesting question of like
forward, command enter to send.
how much due diligence is the responsibility of the creator.
It kind of feels like in the back of my brain, it kind of feels the same as when you see a middle-aged person like posting what is so obviously an AI thing. Like so obviously, oh my God, can you believe that Ted Cruz went surfing and it's him like inside the mouth of a shark? It's like, so this is like obviously fake. If you just don't develop the muscle for that, do you not think about it? Like looking at this now, I'm like, but it's like obviously it's like a scam in the initial email.
Speaking of
scams,
scams,
just if you don't think about it, I guess.
Speaking of scams, did you see that former mayor of New York Eric Adams did a crypto rug pull?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Didn't even last 24 hours.
He barely got
was
the rug.
Too excited to get that money.
It's like
He was pulling at threads.
are
He's not even
we
got it. The
doing?
rug
As
isn't
people
ready
are
yet.
like starting to put a
Yeah,
foot on
I
it.
mean, pulling up the New York Times thing is not a bad idea. Eric Adams hawked a crypto coin. A day later, $1 million was missing.
And he said it was to fight anti-Semitism.
Oh, that's right. yeah.
Wait,
He's just doing keywords.
he said that was the reason for the coin?
Yeah, I was trying to find that.
What?
To fight anti-Semitism with use it in a computer or something.
I can't believe crypto rug pulls are still happening. But mainly because it like speaks to something, right? It's like how bad the general, like we're so online that we've seen 1,000 of these.
Yes, it's intuitively a bad idea.
It's intuitively a bad idea.
I overheard an interesting conversation between someone who's probably like 1920 and someone who's probably like 50. Just from appearance, I'm kind of guessing their ages. The young man said, did you see, I can't even remember what it was, Bitcoin or something. Like, did you see Bitcoin is up? I'm so excited. I'm like, I've got like, he's like excitedly talking about how he is making a bunch of money. And the 50-year-old guy goes, oh, I'm like out of that. I'm not, I cashed out. I'm not like doing crypto anymore. And the young guy was like, why, man? I'm making so much money right now. You have to get back in. And the older guy was like, no way. There are so many scam coins, blah, 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 blah. It just feels like a, minefield. Like it's easy to get in trouble.
It's also like none of the big promise of Bitcoin in like 2013 has like never come to pass. Yeah. It's like only ever been used for crime and speculation. Yeah.
But that young guy was like so... I mean, brainwashed is the word that comes to mind. But that's also,
he has to be like that to galvanize people to invest in whatever shitcoins he's hawking.
He is, he's in the MLM already.
Yeah.
He has to get his 10 people underneath him or whatever.
Yeah.
I just think there's something I think there's a lot to be said for someone younger who is like, this is maybe the first time that they've felt agency over their future.
True.
Versus a guy in his 50s who like probably has a house.
Yeah.
And this is more like how much of retirement?
Well, yeah, because there's like, that's the thing of the classic thing of you are more economically risky in your youth and you're more economically conservative in your later in life. Can you click on he boasted in an accompanying hype video? I do not understand. No. Jacob found on this New York Times article that this crypto coin is supposed to fight anti-Americanism, whatever that is, and anti-Semitism. And I don't know how a crypto coin fights that in any way.
By giving money to helpful advocate Eric Adams.
The post is still up?
How? Okay. Is the coin still available? Like, I don't understand.
Also, buy NYC token the second you're out of office is such a fucking, like, it's like so obviously a scam.
It's a red flag, right?
Because you could have done this, like you can't have done it because of conflict of interest, I guess, when you're in office, but
hasn't stopped some people.
He's like, who? And also he's still associated with New York City, so it's the perfect time because no one's gonna remember, in 10 years.
Yeah, this actually genuinely, this feels like I'm getting the fuck out of this place, so I'm gonna grab all the silverware before I quit, kind of thing.
I haven't seen either of these.
Well, here's a separate video that happened recently.
Eric Adams, please punch me in the face. I would love if you punched me in the face. Okay, you can get fucked too.
I don't know what the conversation was leading up, but his quote is, "I'm not your mayor anymore. Go fuck yourself."
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's done. Buy my coin.
It's like so.
Stupid idiot. If you're gonna vote for a guy I don't like,
Didn't
I'll
he
kill
say
you.
he was gonna be like the mayor for Israel or something? It's like, bro, like
He's spinning around, going like, "Does anyone want me?
Yeah.
Does anyone want me?
He's
Reddit,
like-
would you like me?"
because like I feel like the second he got elected, he was like clubbing and stuff.
Yeah, he was out.
He was an emperor.
Yeah, he was getting the grapes put in his mouth, big leaf wafting him and stuff.
The dream.
And now he's
big
just
leaf.
like, now he's burning Rome down on the way out.
Yeah.
Well, you guys aren't gonna have me. He looks cool.
I can't believe this. Thank you, sir. Good to see God bless you, man.
What? Oh my god, wait.
Yo, Eric, is that you? Yes, it is, brother. How are you?
This is shot exactly like every the beginning of any Bill Burr special. It's just like, I'm just a guy in New York, just a regular guy. I'm getting in a cab.
It's funny because in that acting performance, I could already see him hailing the cab, saying, "Okay, go around the block, do this again," but then give me, "Hey, Eric Adams, is that you?" And then he rolls down the window, has a buffering moment when he tries to remember what his line is, and then goes, "Hey, Eric Adams, is that you? Former mayor of New York, founder of NYC crypto token?"
It's right back around, or I won't give you your coin that I promised you.
Just get a fucking mayor out of the back of my car. That's New York. I always say there are two types of Americans. Those who live in New
Who's he
York
talking
and
to?
those who wish they could.
Yeah, that wasn't related to the thing the other guy said at all.
It's funny. It's funny because what they cut is when he said, "I've got the fucking mayor in the back of my car." He actually said, "I'm not your mayor anymore. Go fuck yourself."
He said, "Zip it. Can you put up the divider, please?"
Yeah.
Do you want a coin? He tries paying him with a coin, like the John Wick hotel.
Well, big moments? Yep, big moment. We're about to change the game. If you can't make it to New York, we're going to bring New York to you.
Why does it? Okay, man. Okay. Can I say something? Why does it look like this is the back of the car?
I thought it was the back too. I'm like, is he? Like,
Is he reversing? Yeah. And why is the?
It is one of those weird futuristic vans. Taxi.
And why does this look like a dreamscape? Like, is it like feathering
The
around?
whole
the, like,
shit, the whole thing is shot so incompetently. In like a
what is
really
this shot?
basic, like you
I
should.
don't know.
If you've seen a movie, you should tell
I
this
don't
looks
know
fucked up.
what I am looking at, and I say that with no like joking in.
Doesn't
my
it feel
voice.
like this feels like a 2011 YouTube sketch, like a Lele Pons style.
This shot is showing them pulling up to an out-of-service turn lane that is obstructing the flow of traffic.
Dude, that's what I want my mayor to do. Back in. Give me the. By the way, give me the first-person view from backing up. I want you to confuse my spatial reasoning so deeply.
That's what I always say about New York. There's people that don't know how to film stuff, and people that don't know how to film stuff.
That's what I say about New York. I said, "Where are you going, Mr. Mayor?"
I'm not your fucking mayor anymore.
There's two types of Americans.
I'm drunk.
Ones who want to be in New York, and one. Have I mentioned Israel?
And staff that speak to me like you do.
Cash or credit card? You got some of that New York City talking?
Shut
We'll get you some,
up!
brother.
What?
This thing is about to take off like crazy.
That's such a scam,
Is
bro.
that the idea? Is you could pay for New York services with it?
I think they're doing bargaining.
Oh,
Because he has no ability
Which is
to.
not really
He can't do anything.
I don't think you can pay for your taxi medallion with Bitcoin. I think you need to give
I
me
think
money.
it's literally like it's the equivalent of being like, instead, can I have a few shares in that new company you're starting?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, the digital heartbeat of New York City.
I love it. You can just say words. You can just be like, we can bring New York City to you with this fucking crypto coin.
You're
In
buying
no way
a
does
piece
that
of
bring
New York.
Talk about a fucking
No, you aren't.
nephew
No, you
job,
aren't.
dude.
Yeah.
All the copy that's written here is so nephew core.
But it's nephew who knows how to scam. Because I do think that does
Swag.
appeal to people's like.
Oh my god! How do you look at
Stupidity.
this and not immediately get repulsed? Like, to me, it literally might as well be a symbol for a virus. Like, download this to destroy
the
your
thing
computer.
is, I've seen enough CoffeeZilla videos to tell me that like all of it. I know in the tokenomics thing, it's gonna explain how it's impossible to rug pull it, and then we already know that like he's completely like pulled the liquidity pool.
Yeah, talk about somebody who's like I'm not giving Eric Adams the benefit of any doubt of any case.
It doesn't do anything.
Man, at least the text is really, really, really small. Governance and Treasury, 2 lines.
I don't know what any of this stuff means.
You don't need to know.
That's the point. You're just supposed to hit buy.
It's a bunch of hand wavy things to make it seem like they've done their homework, when in reality it's a copy pasta of every other coin that has just been built up out of nothing.
Yeah, this is a default.
Fake. It's like it's a Solana coin that's probably all boilerplate and there's nothing special about it.
Point is what you're supposed to do, Jacob, is look at the page, see, wow, there's so much written here, it must be legitimate, and then that big yellow buy button.
Yeah, exactly. And then also it has a thing, like I said, if you scroll up, it has a thing about like all of these cliffs, these are like the token reserve has a lockup duration forever. And these have a 3-month cliff and a 12-month cliff, and these are locked, and then yet somehow they managed to completely gut the coin the second it launched. Somehow they managed to find a way.
I don't know.
Who did that?
We said no to gambling ads. That's always been pretty cut and dry. Not really been much.
We have a new coin actually we'd like to announce
but
today.
It's because we are so ethical. That's why you can trust.
We want to bring Sad Boyz to you.
Boy coin.
Sad coin is right there, and you just coin.
Go and boy coin on it. You can go sad coin, and I will win. But like we have also said no to financial investment apps,
which is a tricky one. And it's like, it's not to say that like I've personally done an ad for a credit card type thing before, but it's not like a cut and dry rule. It's just that there's a large barrier to any sort of financial or like medical advice thing. It's like ZocDoc is like a platform to find doctors. It's not telling you what doctor to sign up for. It's not the doctor, right?
I don't. The
it's
thing
not
is,
a medication or whatever.
Sad Boyz also, I think, has like a the kayfabe is so much less than it would be on like any of our channels, right? Like there's an understanding of like what is character and what is performance and stuff in the other settings. In this, it would feel so much more like insidious, maybe to like. But it's not that like I use investment platform. I have some. The thing is that like even I am like not confident enough in my like education to haphazardly go like, yeah, you go give it a swing.
Well, it's also like there are things that I can say that I feel like most people would have no issue with, that we're just like, well, there's enough ad slots that we can fill with other stuff that we don't have to like cross this bridge. Was like acorns, right? Like that the thing that like puts money away when you do your transactions. I'm like, I don't see anything like offensive about it. It's just like, do we want to cross into that territory?
I use that, like, that's the thing is like, I am not informed enough about who knows. Maybe there is a way to do this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to invest in this because it's like so obviously stupid and unethical and shitty.
I was going to say something like extremely cynical about this. Is it feels, I won't say well, maybe it is. Because this is a scam, and we saw them scam a bunch of people, talking about how supporting this is going to support initiatives to fight anti-Semitism feels anti-Semitic, because it feels like it's preying on people who, you know, want to fight this, a very real thing, putting it as if your coin has this noble mission of doing this, and then stealing $3 million out of it the second it launches feels like it's counter to what you say your principles are.
Also, making sure to provide a nice clean line between Americans and Jewish people. Anti-Semitism and anti-American, if you can believe it.
I forgot that they said that. Oh my God.
There's anti-Semitism, which is, of course, when you are Jewish, which is not American. And it's like, so, that's the thing. The labeling that they will always use in the case, like when Eric Adams says anti-Semitism, it's literally a different word. He's got a whole, you know what it is? It's like when the right decided to start saying woke. It has a completely different definition coming out of their mouth.
It's also Trump coin. We forgot that was a thing.
That's true. A Melania coin.
It's and Melania. It's just called Melania, by the way.
Oh, that's right. She is the asset.
It's like, and then the CoffeeZilla like interviewed one of the guys who like helped start that, and I'm like, damn, what an easy what a easy way to make millions of dollars. It's like, wow, that's so crazy.
No, they don't even have like, there's no one who's a professional that does this. It's like only people using templates and doing like
it is
DMing.
It is
never
always
a
always a template boilerplate copy pasta.
Like it's the president's coin. Is there not like a, I don't know, who's the best at doing this guy? And it isn't. It's still, you know, Johnny Nephew that just reaches out and uses a
You
a
hate
WebEx template.
nephews.
Look, hey, I think it's just as much of an uncle problem. I think it is just as much the burden of the uncle for hiring the nephew, but it's
True.
a dangerous ecosystem.
Yeah.
The uncle nepo dynamic, uncle magic, is dangerous. Now, antitrust.
Antitrust
needs to be
antitrust.
They you can trust the aunties.
Anyway, go to sad coin. No, don't.
Nope,
That's
boy
all of
coin.
it. All of it.
Dollar boy.
You know what else is bad?
No, Jacob. You can't say that.
That's our right as observers of the gays.
All right, tell me about this.
Okay.
Comment Brotherhood. I love it when they tell you to do something like that.
From an account called Straight Acting Boy.
Straight Acting Boy.
I'm straight acting.
Wait, now they're gonna have boy coin.
I like boys, but I don't.
That's
like boys. If you know
I like
what I'm
boys,
saying.
but I don't.
I don't like the hollow gay culture.
Like the hollow gay culture. I feel like that's presumptuous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
because there's also just one gay culture.
Yeah, they're doing,
and it's hollow.
They're doing culture war. This is such shadowboxing shit. It's always just like, yeah, fuck hollow gay culture, and then people that aren't like internally homophobic are just like, okay, go away.
But like, as if gay culture is one dimensional.
Yeah, it's
right?
the monoculture.
Yeah, the monoculture of gay people.
It's hollow, dude.
That's why I created the.
That's why I created the Straight Acting Brotherhood. An exclusive
Straight
members
Acting
club.
Brotherhood? Wait, so the whole point of it is that you're gay, but you join a brotherhood of people who act straight?
Because you're tired of gay people who act gay.
That's so
Act
cool.
It's interesting. Act is an interesting
so
word in
brave.
this context.
It is just, it's like doth protest too much. What do you mean straight acting? It's like, I want to conform to heteronormativity, but I can't help being gay. So I'm going to make it cool to conform.
Yeah, anybody that
but
is
not
like,
with the gay shit. I'm going to conform to something that's better.
Anybody could like that is has an issue with you being gay. It's not like wearing a mesh tank top is the thing they hate. They're homophobic. You're like, hey, by the way, I like act kind of like you, but I am a gay man. They're gonna be like, that's good.
One of the comments says, I knew this was an American thing. This is already arriving in Brazil. Last week, I was invited to watch a football match with 7 other gay men and drink beer.
What a comment.
That's
Wait,
What an incredible comment.
and that is homophobic because you're saying that gay men don't like beer and football
and
matches.
football.
Can you comment Brotherhood real quick?
To learn more. They don't even tell you why you would comment Brotherhood.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Gay.
Oh, because you want to train them to blindly follow whatever
That's right.
you'll say.
Comment
Your
Brotherhood.
society exclusive members club.
Uh-huh.
If you don't comment Brotherhood, you are gay. So
For high network masculine men who are into men. We recently had a retreat in Bali and we all lived in a luxury villa. We went with the ATVs in the jungle and we also sat down all together and talked about our personal stories, our struggles,
gay guys
just
don't
like a
do that.
family. Common
It's,
brotherhood.
okay, how did, this
They
is
don't have
crazy.
conversations.
This is so crazy because it's like those man retreat things
Yes.
where they're like doing hypermasculinity.
like a war room
but
thing.
it feels like why are you forcing yourself into this like shell?
For who?
Because if the hollow gay culture was talking about your feelings, is this a masculine way to sit in a circle and talk about your feelings?
Yeah, it seems like it's mostly, honestly, the whole sitting in a circle thing feels, it's like a perfect allegory for the way that people approach this, because it's always the same stuff, no matter what community you have to pay to get into. It's always the same stuff, but the shape is different. It's not, I'm at the beach walking and having a conversation. It's I'm sitting down pensively in the war room to have the conversation. It's not
In the war
I'm
room, yeah.
spending a nice day out having drinks with my friends. It's we're having beer in next to an infinity pool.
Yeah,
or
we're having
something.
tactical beverages.
Carbon fiber glass.
out of a carbon fiber flask.
it's just like
It's a combat flask, actually.
everyone is performing for this mysterious third person who hates them.
Isn't
I
there
guess.
someone you forgot to ask? And it's like Uncle Sam.
Also, did you clock that he said exclusive? Like they're trying to make this a
well, it feels like those like man camps, you know, like it just feels like that for.
And I think he said high level too. So it's like
it's always
like
oriented.
we're high level men, which has some meaning to them.
It's high value man. It's
High
like
value, that's right.
it's the. I mean, it's literally just those groups are homophobic, so they've made an inclusive one of those, but only a little bit inclusive
version of it. Yeah, we have the cute Nazis. We have, like, it's nice now.
Like, I'm glad they're sharing their stories and their feelings with other people, but it is like, you know, you can do that with any close friend.
I mean, I have a feeling that the stories are maybe not being shared with the transparency and warmth that those stories kind of warrant. It's probably more in the realm of like, my dad was a suboptimal communicator and thus was not proactive about my sexuality. It's not like I hate my dad, he's a shitty guy. Also, there's no it's almost cliche to say this at this point, but like, guys just need friends, and it's getting really distracting to have to see.
All of these things are just an excuse for guys to hang out with friends.
Just get like a Groupon or something.
Because that's not allowed.
It's like if you don't. It's like and it's hard to have a friend who will plan a night where you sit around and talk. So
Plus,
you have
I don't
to
have a circle of grass like that.
Yeah, you have to go to Bali for one of those.
That is odd. I like that second really tiny one. That's the kids one. For like kindergartners.
All right, let's see let's continue. Oh, interesting. Into men, not into LGBTQXYZ.
Is that like
I built a brotherhood for men like this is someone who's in denial about their like belongingness in society.
They're trying to divorce their sexuality from
like
the cultural view of it.
It's like it's self-hating, but then wanting to. It's like, are there any other people who hate their identity and really want to conform to like hetero masculine like ideology boys club?
Like not doing that is like normative to the extreme, right? It's like that is the normal way for a human to act.
Well,
but sometimes people get so gay that they become inhuman to me.
Don't you think this is one of those scenarios where it's like, I feel bad, and so I'm going to make other people feel bad to make myself feel better?
Or
it's like,
yeah,
we don't like, we're going to be misogynistic. We're going to be like maybe transphobic. I'm guessing with the XYZ, right?
Yeah,
I've never even seen that one before.
That's just like they're
always inventing.
It's the LGBT 1, 2, 3. It's all the letters. Alphabet soup. I mean, back in my day, it was just LGB. Okay, and then now it's fucking. There's extra letters.
This shit always cracks me up because like
it's weird
they
to
wrote
old
the whole thing. It wasn't clearly it's not too long, but you wrote it and then they added stuff to it. So yeah, what if it was longer?
And so it's dog whistling to like a specific type of. It's that I am valid, and what I like to do is pull down other gay people who don't do the gay the way I want to.
The other way people are expressing themselves is actually hurting me,
so that I can feel like I'm a real man.
Yes,
right.
Also, I think.
Jacob, you want to speak for all gay people real quick?
Yes.
Jacob has a prepared statement.
My favorite thing.
I mean, I'll give it a try.
This is not a new concept, right? I mean, look at like since Grindr has been a thing, the whole like no fats, no femmes, no Asians.
Yeah.
That is, and that hasn't gone away.
Right.
You know, people are more like, oh, I shouldn't say that out loud because it's.
But then there's people who still like, because every now and again I'll see like a viral post of someone's Grindr profile, and it's like they're basically saying that, but in like slightly different language.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an iconic. I'm not owned. It's like I'm actually laughing.
It's interesting because like I can only apply this to like things I've experienced, but it's like the way it feels like when it feels like token minority stuff.
I'm one of the good ones.
I'm one of the good because it's like that's what I like. I think that there's been points in my childhood and upbringing that I rejected my racial identity, not like outwardly rejected it, but more like didn't want to see color. You know, because
performing a type of like
because I'm not like Tyrone.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
That's the thing is like.
Also, shout out Tyrone. We went to high school together. He's very good running back for the East Side Rams. So
I've noticed, by the way, he does not use the word gay ever.
That's I was also thinking.
Into men is I like boys and I'm into men, I think is the two. Great episode for clip farming, by the way.
It's LGBT. It's
a lot of fun individual clips to take from this episode. I want to make a boy coin. I like guys, but I don't like this holo gay culture.
I understand the urge to be like, well, there's this stereotype of something that I am, but I know I'm not the stereotype, so I'm going to other myself from the whole community.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, it is...
Just pull up your pants, black man, kind of stuff.
It's just one of those things where it's like, the critical flaw is othering other people is harmful.
Yeah.
And that in othering others doesn't make it easier for you to find community.
Yeah, it corrodes at your soul over time.
Yeah.
Because it's a what's the term? It's a rising tide, right? Like the more hateful you are, then the higher the standard for that becomes. Because now all of you in your was it the man zone or whatever this group is called, all of a sudden, once 20 people join, there's going to be
Brotherhood of Straight Acting Men.
There's going to be 5 people out of that 20 that don't do as good as the top 15. And then...
Oh, and they have to be high net worth individuals. Okay. Let's connect and build. Connect and build, dude. I'm glad it's here.
And also have gay sex? Or like, is that at all?
No, dude.
Nope.
Wow. Fucking... How homophobic of you. Just because these men are into men, you think they want to sleep with each other?
It seems like kind of a shitty vacation. Like, it's all these guys.
They don't do gay hookup culture. Or wait, they don't do gay culture. Sorry, I misread that. They don't do hollow gay culture, HGC, as they're calling it. Hookups, partying, drinking.
But they were drinking beers.
Not different, though.
That's different.
Oh.
Because...
They don't drink water.
Yeah,
we don't do LGBT labels, pronouns, or rainbow pride.
I'm sure they use pronouns.
They don't do pronouns.
I'm sure they say he and they and
they're gonna see they're gonna say it somewhere, and it's gonna be a problem. This is the
meetups are really confusing.
You know how in sports, because it's so like hyper, toxic masculine or whatever. You have like straight athletes who like paint their nails like Caleb Williams. And then there's like, it's weird to me that there's a guy who's into men, but goes none of that. He's doing that gay shit. You know what I mean? Like it's such a weird.
Yeah.
It's always strange.
Like, let's just, why not, why exclude? Why not expand?
It's strange that we've seen it also now, like it's a lot of forest for the trees type stuff where what this is ultimately, if you really, 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 really boil it down, the source is just trad, heteronormative, patriarchal structure, right? Always has been meme, right?
Right.
It's
a toxic patriarchy.
Always has been. But now we're at this like bizarre moment where this isn't even like associated with like Catholicism or something. Like the sources of it aren't even here anymore. It's just vibes.
Yeah.
Why don't you like that culture? What about it? It's like, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. I don't know.
Well, it's like, you know what it might be? It might be like thinly coated like conservatism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, because I think that's also like if you like it can be very repressive, right? In that culture.
It's signaling it, but without the
like
compromise.
In a conservative culture. You know, it's like it reminds me of like people who are raised hyper religious and then like are having to come to terms with their identity. And it's like really unfortunate to be stunted in that way. And there's nothing wrong with it until you start doing harm to others.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was at this like super vivid memory several years ago. Very good friend of mine. He grew up kind of just like traditional American Protestant, but church every Sunday, prayers before dinner, but not really anything like proactively hateful. Just the, I guess what you point to is the nice parts, just, chilled parts. And then he one day, just out of nowhere, like in a casual conversation, he just said something along like, this is like 2019, went, yeah, I think ultimately, though it's needed, I think Roe v. Wade it's like not great. We probably shouldn't have that. And I just said, well, this is going to sound like maybe patronizing. That didn't sound like you saying that. Like that's and I just stopped for a second. I went like, and I only mentioned this person because they had talked about it publicly. I said like, our friend X, they just talked about having an abortion, right? You know that. And he went like, huh. Yeah, I don't know why I said that. Like
they
he
had
literally
uploaded the new NPC dialogue. It's like the pipelines, like in brainwashing, results in someone just uploading new default like dialogue options and then just hitting those, not knowing whether or not they believe them or not. They just repeat them.
And they're like, and that's the thing is they were on instinct. The what I admired about it is you could do a hotfix.
Yeah.
Someone was like, hey, you shouldn't say that, and they're like, oh shit, you're right. As opposed
it's
to
like almost snapping out of it. They're like, oh, what do I actually think? And then that was the first time that they introspected.
Yes.
I want to look at these retreats. So we've got the warrior retreat, and this rule of threes is very fun comedy to me. The warrior retreat, the Greek gods event, the Swiss experience.
The Swiss experience.
It's just so funny to me because
the
warrior retreat, it's a 5-day retreat in tropical paradise. Train Muay Thai like a fighter, recharge in a luxury villa, reclaim your power as a masculine man. Okay, great. Cool. The Greek gods event, we're going to be gods. 5-day immersive experience in Mykonos, the island of the Greek gods. Well, white rock villas, crystal waters, and golden sunsets. And then the Swiss experience, our most exclusive event of the year, where elite men come to slow down. Ski resorts, slopes by day, and warm private chalet fires by night. That one sounds like more sensual.
Yeah, but not in that way, dude. They don't party or
they wouldn't like kiss each other.
No, bro.
Are you insane?
And I'm only into men. I'm not gay.
It is weird to say not LGBT. That I don't want that to be a part of it because all you're saying is I'm gay, but I don't like allyship. I don't like community. I don't like supporting people. I just want to me.
Yeah.
G. It's like I want to find a group of also selfish bros.
Well, that's the thing is like they don't want to let go of the privilege of like straight passing and being men.
That's a good point. Letting go of the privilege, I think, is a good way of framing that because it's like if I can, what's the term? If I can pass for straight, then I can have all of the privileges of being straight. And if I never assign myself this label and what I think it means or what, I've been brainwashed to think it means by society, then I'm free of it.
It does imply definitely that like, because clearly this guy is sheltered, like clearly, because like if you know gay people, you know it's not a monolith. Like you would literally just to have any gay friends, to have any exposure to like, oh right, sorry, this thing that I've learned that all gay people are is a complete fiction that's been propagated by fascists. But then like if he is incredibly sheltered, realizes that he's gay, and then just goes like, okay, need to make sure I don't do any of the gay stuff I've been hearing about online. This is not a guy who's lived a life.
It's weird because your sexuality has nothing to do with your interests. And so it's like you can be into ATVs and making money and driving fast cars, and it has nothing to do with your like sexual identity.
Yeah, you might just be boring.
And your sexual identity also has nothing to do with your gender expression.
It's so much.
But it's like
who asked?
No, but instead it's like I will just confirm my biases by creating a lightning rod where the freaks who've been similarly brainwashed to me or have the same cope in their hearts as I do can choose not to grow and just like we found each other. And that's the only downside of the internet, which is that like I'm a weird freak with harmful ideologies, and while communities are being formed every day that make people feel less alone, there are also communities of people who want to cause harm who are like, wait, you too?
Brilliant.
Wait, we can cause harm together. And we'll call it the unit, we'll call it the army force.
The battlefield.
We'll call it the Trojans, but not like the condoms, but like
and
the warriors.
Not like being gay and
not in like a gay
Greece.
way. We're gonna be like Greeks, not gay.
No.
The Greek experience. That's yeah.
The Swiss experience. It's got cheese.
The Swiss experience. Also, $5,000 for a Greek vacation that you could buy Greece.
Yeah, you could do that much.
You could buy Ibiza for $5,000.
Yeah.
All right.
No offense. I know that you're a Greek.
Yeah, and they're broke as a joke. It's cheap there.
Get him to the Greek.
Anyway, we're heading to Warrior Retreat, right?
I'm going to the Swiss experience.
I'm going to gay party.
Oh, that's a totally different
that's a
group.
different package. Sorry.
Wait, that's the group where they eschew all things masculine and only love that gay shit.
It's a bunch of straight guys.
Yeah.
But
They're really straight, but they love all that. Wait, that's our podcast. They love pronouns. Costs of brotherhood.
Like what? Like
oh my
SEO?
god! Wait, this is so sad. Can I join even if I'm not out yet?
Yes, we value privacy and discretion above all. The Brotherhood was built for masculine men into men who want a space where they can finally feel understood, a place to belong.
This is so
They've
sad.
invented this world
This is
where
so sad.
you can't be that.
You're fighting demons.
It's fiction. It's like you don't. You know when you go, you're out and about, and you say that you're gay, but you're like a kind of traditionally masculine man, and people start yelling at you, and a bunch of lips start grabbing you by the arm. It's like this doesn't exist.
This is making me sad because the amount of fear in that one question.
Sad.
It's so sad.
Also, the cost of Brotherhood, it's free, but you have to pay. Was the pitch there? You have to have at least paid for an event. Oh.
At this point, I
You
was
just have to go to one of their gaycations.
Don't call it that. It's a boycation.
They would really
Straight
not
cations.
like it if you called it that.
They're straight acting cations.
It's a super het Greek experience.
I just also want to point out that they're massively transphobic.
Of course, yeah.
A lot of this also comes from like misogyny and whatnot. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, ultimately, it does feel like it's the one unifying force that every insecure, trad performing guy, regardless of other elements of their identity, is just hating women and trans people.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's like the one thing everyone seems to hold on to no matter what.
And I think it's like, this is a little bit how they win. They being the like heteronormativity, like cis het, like gender binary enforcing, like all of these like socially conservative structures are reinforced by shit like this.
Yes, yeah.
Because you could have it all, but you, instead of being open and just saying it's a group of dudes who share these interests, you're also trying to harm and exclude and invalidate like all of these other groups. When you didn't have to do that, you're just like kowtowing to the powers that be.
That will hate you either way.
Right. Yeah.
That they don't like you, little bro. I mean, this could just be called the Vacation Club.
It's pick me gay guys.
It is pick me. Yeah, it is.
It's like
it's like pick me, but for Don Draper. Like,
yeah.
It's like, hey, do you like me? Do you think I'm cool? No, I'm
it's
homophobic.
upset. Like, but it's tough because it's ultimately harmful, or it's explicitly harmful. But then you see stuff like the "Can I go if I'm not out yet?" And then it's like everyone moves at their own pace here. It's like you almost get it.
Yeah, you're getting really close.
Right. It's like you understand how this might be difficult. Like someone might be struggling with identity, how they might want to take, their time to understand, what they are. And it would suck if someone got swept into this and was like, yes, I finally found.
It was the thing that let you come out.
Right.
Paying $7,000 to.
Because I didn't come out as a gay guy. I came out as a straight acting into men guy.
I would honestly just think like, homophobic, like boomer dad. This would be so much more confusing. You're like, Dad, I'm gay, but not like that. Look, I'm going on a Swiss experience. Wait, what?
It does feel like this almost feels like it's a crutch for that kind of dad, though. Because it's like, Dad, don't worry, I'm still into like hunting and being a Greek god or whatever.
Here's my pink ATV.
But don't even worry, I don't use pronouns. And it's like,
I have a neon green jet ski, so I'm not like weird about it.
Yeah, and I don't like any of those flags.
So shout outs to being gay.
And if anyone asks, Jacob put us up to this.
Yeah. I did.
I wouldn't have invited myself to talk about this, but I guess it does speak to how toxic masculinity affects everyone of every identity. Like it's like doesn't ask if you want to be a part of it. It is it's got a cold iron grip on all of society.
It takes and it gives nothing.
It gives nothing and it asks everything.
Yeah. Anastasia, can you fix this, please?
Okay.
Okay, brilliant.
Wow, you were so
No, I'll
quick
do
to
it.
answer. Okay.
I've just been
awesome.
waiting for someone to ask me.
Oh,
Shoot,
shit.
okay,
Our bad, I guess.
Okay. Do you if you fix? Fuck. What else could you fix? Polio. Get rid of that. Probably.
No.
Oh.
It was a
And I'm
ass.
against the vaccine too.
No.
Oh fuck. With
I'm just
great
kidding. I love the
power.
vaccine.
Which one? I won't tell you which.
I got a bunch of vaccines a few months ago.
Are you bragging about that?
Yeah.
Flexing on it.
Was that to go to Brazil?
Yeah. For my gay men's retreat.
All right. Well, that's that on that. Don't do scamming is the name of the game.
Except if you are going to do it, you probably are anyway.
Just be dubious about everything
yeah.
in the world.
It's so tiring.
I know.
It's like if everyone just kept sneezing in each other's faces. And I'm like, can I just not go out?
Yeah.
Is there just nothing that can be done now? But thank gods we're geniuses, you know?
Thank the gods indeed. Thank the gods of crypto. And thank you to Anastasia and Jacob for being awesome on this episode. Thanks to you, Jarvis, for holding it down as always. And we end every episode of Sad Boyz with a particular phrase. Oh, you're right. If you want to check out Sad Boyz Nightz, our Patreon podcast, you can head over to patreon.com/sadboyz. Get a little premium show.
Maybe thank you.
And thanks to all the patrons who are patronizing us over there.
Patronizing us, and because there's two of us, and thank you.
And there's two.
That's it?
Thank you to not me.
And thanks to and Jarvis. Yeah, I forgot to
again.
thank myself. Oh my gosh, yeah. So we end Jordan. And we end every episode of Sad Boyz with a particular phrase.
We love you.
And we're sorry.
Gucci girl, how you doing? How you moving, girl? Moving, girl. How's your day looking? That future girl, yeah, we on now. Take my money, go away, oh, you want it?
Girl, too rich for me.